Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Chuck Graham Show. You can support us online at charlesgraham.com. That's charlesgraham.com. And you listen to the podcast, too, on all your favorite platforms. Now, let's get into today's, news. Kyle Rittenhouse. I watched the entire prosecution yesterday and the cross-examination of the prosecution. Awful. Yeah, Bender. Yeah, he needs to go on the bender. Because he's awful. He's an awful person for bringing these charges against this guy. And I just want to make this clear. When it came out in the trial that damn prosecutor told that officer not to execute that search warrant on that other guy's phone, I would have told the prosecutor to suck my ass. Excuse the expression. Because I have a warrant signed by a judge. They want to gnaw across the case, fine. They don't want to use it as evidence, fine. But I'm going and I'm executing that search warrant. Been there. Told a judge one time that he could serve his own damn warrants. He didn't want to collect my fee. Now, he probably could have held me in contempt, but both of us were elected, so how's that going to work out? Let me just say this. It's not about me. It's about Kyle Rittenhouse. Now, look at the stories today, and I'm gonna try to put the video up, like right here. Take a look at the video of Kyle Rittenhouse. Okay. All right, I'm going to try to get that up in there. I can't go much over, I'm going to say 20 seconds or so because, well, you know how copyrights are. Anyway, but look at the headlines. MSN, drone footage show Kyle Rittenhouse first shooting. Kyle Rittenhouse takes the stand in his own defense. A look at key points in Kyle Rittenhouse's testimony. AP News, Associated Press, CNN, Kyle Rittenhouse trial. The defense plans to call several more witnesses after teenagers crucial, and I'm not going into that one. Anyway, New York Times, a defendant myself, Kyle Rittenhouse tells juror in his homicide trial. But then you get down here to the Fox News, Tucker Carlson, Kyle Rittenhouse trial is the most bizarre court proceedings ever caught. New York Post, Kyle Rittenhouse shooting, a clear case of self-defense. Washington Examiner, the prosecution of Kyle Rittenhouse is a disaster. Well, CNN, keep in mind that the New York Times and CNN, MSNBC, ABC News, all of those threw this kid under the bus when this first happened with no fucking evidence. None, no evidence whatsoever. They throw this kid under the bus. Like he's a mass shooter. Facebook did it, Twitter did it. I don't trust that no blinking Mark Zuckerberg as far as I can throw his ass. But the point being is this. They threw this kid under the bus before there was ever any evidence. They tried his ass in the court of public opinion. And I think the best thing the defense did was put him on the stand because he killed it. I mean, the prosecution doesn't have anywhere. And if I was a juror on that, we'd sit there till next September. That kid's not going to jail. And I'd move for directed verdict if the jury does come back with guilty, because I don't think the judge is going to let it happen. I can just tell by the demeanor of the judge. This is horse shit. Everybody knows it's horse shit. The prosecution should have never brought this case to trial. It's a clear case of self-defense, and obvious this dickwad had never been in any kind of shooting. I have. I've been there where bullets are flying. You can't tell if you shot twice or if you emptied the damn mag. Everything is happening so fucking fast, and he's going frame by frame by frame by frame. And any of you dipshits out there that think any otherwise, well, go and get yourself, go down in your local hood and see how that works out for you, and see if you can fucking remember how many shots were fired when bullets are flying over your head. You're not going to fucking remember. Very, very few people are able. There's been cases where a defendant has to, or not a defendant, the perpetrator comes in, robs a convenience store, and the clerk can't even tell you what color his shirt is. Because your adrenaline is pumping through like nobody's business. I'm surprised that he made it out alive. And I got news for you. What happened is those guys did not, that guy is a baby-faced guy, didn't look like he would pull the trigger, and they didn't think he'd shoot him. And they made a conscious call to attack him, even though he had an AR-15, and it didn't work out so fucking well for him. The only mistake I think, well, I'm not going to say that. Anyway, Rosenbaum got exactly what he deserved. He was a pedophile wife beater who just got out of the hospital, and I think it was a mental hospital. He should have shot his ass. All I could say is Kyle Rittenhouse probably saved some child somewhere in the future from being molested by that fucking creep. So the bottom line is this. It's a clear case of self-defense. I don't care where you're at on the. I see these posts coming down from the court TV website. Forget what it is. It's court something. Anyway, it was one I was watching yesterday, and I can't remember which one it was. But when he broke down on the stand, they were talking about, oh, he's guilty, he's this, he's that. No, he broke down with real emotion. Real fucking emotion. I'm sorry. Fuck you, CNN, NBC, MSNBC, all of you media outlets, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, every one of you motherfuckers that actually threw this kid under the bus. You ain't never been in any situation other than from your couch to your fucking TV. Never put anything on the line for anybody. The fact of the matter is, I wouldn't have been the arresting officer. I wouldn't have arrested his ass. I just said, I'm taking off sick. I ain't arresting this kid. I just wouldn't have done it. It's just ridiculous. Now, somebody else would have done it, of course. But the problem is the evidence was clear. And what about the officers that were, he was going up to them, hey, I got my hands up. I just shot somebody. Get the fuck out of the road. And spray him with mace. All right. Don't even want to ask him, why he's, saying, got his hands up. That didn't like ring a bell with you. Stellar police work, folks. Anyway, the point being is this. Is he shot those 1, 2, 3, 3 in self-defense. And Kenosa, I think that's his name, Kenusna, I believe it is. I believe that's how you spell it. But anyway, the other one got shot through the bicep. He's just fortunate he just got shot in the bicep. He was gangster style in that pistol. He's going to shoot him. But Kyle Rittenhouse done an excellent job as a witness. I don't think anybody could have done any better. I think he did a stellar job at defending himself. And if that jury has any fucking sense whatsoever, he'll be not guilty. But they're already trying to dox him. They're already trying to take pictures of him. They're trying to threaten him. They're trying to dox the jury. Anybody, the judge should put a gag order, and anybody takes a picture of those jurors should go to jail and be held in contempt of court until the trial is over and their phone seized. We know what this is, right? I mean, it happened, and they were all afraid in the Derek Chauvin trial. Don't take into account, he was following police manual about the restraint. I wouldn't have done it. I said it 1,000 times. I wouldn't have done it that way. And I thought it was pretty atrocious that he just kept him on the ground. But look, it was George Floyd. It's not like he's a stellar member of the community. Not that he deserved to die. But the fact of the matter is, when you got a police officer, they need to change their protocols, what I'm trying to say. But the point being is this. It's evident in this country. I wouldn't be a police officer today. Not because crime has gotten so much worse. Oh, fuck that. Who cares? The point being is I wouldn't be a police officer today because nobody has your back. Nobody. If you're white, you shoot a black person, you're likely going to get fried. If you're a black cop like Lieutenant Michael Byrd of the Capitol Police Department can shoot an unarmed white girl. The only death that happened on December 6th that was caused by the protest and riots. Some of them were rioting, some of them were just looking around. The only ones, folks, only death. Michael Byrd, Lieutenant Michael Byrd, already had, he should have been a cop about like I should be a stripper on Fat Day. The fact of the matter is this, he never should have been wearing that damn badge after, I don't know, other episodes that he had about leaving his gun in the toilet. And at the very least, he should have been charged with reckless endangerment to the other cops that were on the other side of there. He's a scared little man that used deadly force because he shot that girl in cold-blooded murder. And they don't do shit about him. But Kyle Rittenhouse, on the other hand, oh God, we got to make sure we get this killer off the street. How about this, prosecutor? And I know where he was going. He was trying to say, well, if Kyle Rittenhouse hadn't have been there, if he'd abided by curfew, and if he'd abided by the fact that he's 17, and obviously the judge ratcheted him back on that, it was perfectly legal for him to possess that firearm, apparently. And regardless of that, what should have happened is very simple. They shouldn't have been burning the fucking city down. That would have took care of it all. Let's blame the people that's supposed to be blamed. The dumbasses that are rioting in the streets and burning people's businesses down. Let's be perfectly clear, Mr. Prosecutor. I was screaming at the oh my God, I threw a thing. Object, you idiots. Especially when he was talking about, well, you didn't feel hazy and disoriented when because you got hit in the head. You were running and that was why you felt, oh my God, what are you, a doctor? I mean, could somebody fucking object? The point being is this. This kid never should have been tried. Self-defense. And any prosecutor can't look at that tape and say, well, shit, this is self-defense. Hey? But like I said before, they did not think he would shoot them. They've been bullying people all their fucking life and doing that gangster style. We're gonna bust a cap in your ass. Shit. Didn't work out too well, did it, Mr. Bicep Man? You better be glad he didn't miss, or that he did miss. Fact is, all of them were cowards. You got a child molesting, wife beating, mentally disturbed man chasing a fucking 17-year-old down and trying to grab his AR-15, does grab it, and gets his ass shot off. Whoa, let's just break out the fucking champagne. Who gives a shit? Fact is, that kid saved his own life. If that psycho would have got that gun away from him, he would have killed him. And then what? Prosecution would have just, oh, well, he has a mental disorder. And folks, if you can tell that I'm pretty pissed off about this, yeah, I'm pretty pissed off about it. Because this prosecutor is an idiot. I said it up there when I was watching the trial. He's an idiot. I mean, a fucking idiot. And I thought to myself, there was just no words for it. How in the hell can you bring charges against this guy? And those were real emotions. Like I said before, it's real emotions. Absolutely real emotions. He broke down. He didn't want to kill anybody. The fact is, just because you can sometimes doesn't mean you should. There's probably there was a lot of times that I could have used deadly force, but didn't. He didn't want to do that. He was running away, trying to get away from the threat. The threat was on his ass screaming, get him, get him, get him. Really? I hope there's at least one rational person that doesn't give two shits about the doxing. I wouldn't care. Yeah, you'd think what happened in Missouri. Yeah, you step your ass on my property. But the fact of the matter is this. He didn't do anything wrong. He was trying to run away from the threat. And that's a good thing. You should always do that. If you can, swallow your ego and your pride. And if you can get away from the threat to protect your family, just do it. It's a lot better. It's a lot easier to do it that way. And a hell of a lot less cost to you. But if you're on your own property, that's a whole different ballgame. You have nowhere to go. My point being is this: if you can avoid conflict, you should do that at all costs. Just swallow your pride. I've had people cuss at me, flip me off in traffic and all that kind of stuff. I just laugh. Whatever. Yeah. Who cares? Shit. Even when I was a cop, I've had people holler at me and slurs and stuff. Yeah, whatever, dipshit. I'll see you again. My point being is this. And I ain't been a cop in 21 years. But I will tell you this. I wouldn't do that shit today for nothing in the world. This is atrocious what's happening to this kid. And I'm absolutely 100% in agreement with Crowder. And I'm glad that he said what he said to CNN. And I'm glad he used his platform to address this issue. This kid's innocent. And if he gets convicted, there is no justice in this world. Tell you what, this is the most dark time I've ever seen it in my lifetime in this country. And I'm gonna leave it at that. If you like the show, charlesgraham.com. If YouTube takes it down, whatever. Who cares? We always have Rumble. You can watch it on Rumble. You can watch it on Local. You can watch the show on Gab. I don't have Facebook and Twitter. I'm not giving them tyrants my data. I don't want them to have my data. You're not selling my data. And it's got to do with that. It doesn't have anything to do with censorship. I don't like the people that run those things. Jack Dorsey's he's a lot of things. Take your pick. All of them negative. So is Zuckerberg. Hadn't had an original thought in his whole entire life, allegedly. So I'll see you guys on the next video. And thanks for watching.